to start a startup, you need money. It's a necessary condition.
You won't become rich in 1 to 2 years.
They say that it's not an adventure until something goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
The burden of a startup is pretty major.
But whenever I see that, honestly, it genuinely does. Genuinely makes me smile.
The
Yeah.
thing is, it's very obvious to me that I can't live like that. I need to work in a startup.
Yeah, maybe you wanna lack some sleep? Yeah, so
Yeah.
go ahead, launch a startup.
Regardless of failure or not, if it happens to succeed or fail, I'm still wanting to do it again.
Anything you wanna do, like whether learning a new language, whether launching a startup, I don't know, like acing your grades, consistency is always the key, and it has always been the key. And it's crazy, yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving every single bit of it.
So, Rami, John, hi, how are you?
Doing pretty well.
Hey, Slim, great, thank you.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us in this podcast with Level One. I know that John, I mean, it's near your bedtime. I think it's like 8 a.m.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you so much. Rami, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. I hope the mic quality doesn't ruin this, but yeah, I appreciate the invite. This is lovely.
Amazing. So, could we start by introducing yourself? So, Rami, what do you do right now? Tell us about yourself.
For sure. Thank you for the introduction, Slim. So, yes, my name is Rami Touati. I'm currently taking charge. Well, in other words, I'm a CMO of SpeakDuo. That's an edtech startup. So, yeah. So at the time being, we are currently at the phase of trying our best to push through and grow, which is quite the challenging phase. But yeah, it's a pretty challenging phase, but it's exciting at the same time. But nonetheless, yeah. So just to be brief, I am a CMO of a startup called SpeakDuo, and at the same time, I'm pursuing an MBA, so an MBA degree with an AI focus.
Great.
And so, yeah, I mean, enough about me. Let's talk about John.
Yeah, John. Let's hear.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I work with Rami on SpeakDuo, and we started this around 3 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, we're at that point, like Rami said, a challenging time, but also very exciting. We're seeing initial signs of product market fit for a language technology, or rather language learning platform. And yeah, we have two products. One is B2C and one's B2B. And
Okay.
yeah, we've seen traction on both sides. So yeah, very interesting times for us.
Absolutely.
And just out of curiosity, let's rewind for a second. So, John, before SpeakDuo, who was John? What did you do before that?
So the most recent thing I was doing before SpeakDuo was teaching English at SUS International School. And yeah, I was doing that. I really enjoyed teaching English. It was English at an international school, so it was mostly literature, but we also had a English as a second language component. And yeah, prior to that, I was trading futures. And prior to that, I was working at another startup called ScalaPay in Italy. It's a fintech startup. And before that, I was a priest, a Catholic priest, and I was living in Italy for some time.
Right.
And before that, I was studying philosophy. And, the part of becoming a priest was training. So I was a seminarian. And before that, I was working in the hospitals. My first full-time gig was in the hospitals as a doctor. And before that, I was studying, in medical school.
Wow, quite the path.
Yeah, long, windy path when I look back, yeah.
Oh yeah. So with everything you did, what was the moment that made you go, language learning has to be better, and I'm the one to fix it?
I did try to learn languages myself. I'm still learning languages. And yeah, I found it difficult, very difficult in high school to learn Japanese. I'm Korean and I grew up in Australia. Learning Japanese, I had an advantage because Korean and Japanese are similar grammatically,
Yeah.
but and they also share a lexicon to some extent. But when I actually tried to learn Japanese and went to Japan as an exchange student when I was 15 or something, I couldn't understand anything. And I was like doing well in class. So I thought, gee, like I spent so much time learning Japanese. When I went there, I couldn't say anything. I couldn't understand anything. I was like, this is a bit of a scam, this teaching and learning in schools.
Yeah.
But it was obviously also my responsibility. I didn't realize that languages in schools is like um, basically an introduction to a language. It's like, hey, this is an introduction. If you actually want to become fluent, don't expect it to happen during your class and assessments related to this class. Just you got to do your own thing every day. You got to
Yeah,
actually be
absolutely
obsessed with the
right.
language. Yeah, so when I realized that, I was like, oh, I don't think I can do it because I wanted to be a doctor well, I didn't really fully know that at that time, but very soon afterwards, I committed myself to studies for medical school. And I
Okay.
actually ended up dropping Japanese because I knew that I had to do a lot of work for Japanese, and I
Yeah.
only had so much time to do the other things and sciences. So I I gave up on Japanese, and it was a really sad thing, you know. Like it was 5 years I put into it, and I still can't speak it. I was actually just in Japan very recently,
Okay.
and I think um, the real moment of wanting to learn languages was when I went to Rome for the priesthood studies.
Okay.
So that's when I decided, you know what, I failed learning Japanese. I'm gonna try to learn Italian um, and really learn how to learn Italian. And I was so like adamant about finding the method to learning languages that I picked up German as well. I said, I'm going to learn Italian and German at the same time.
Right.
And it was hell. Yeah, it was hell. That's when I realized, gee, yeah, that's when I probably realized like like it's not easy, number one.
Yeah,
And
sure.
yeah, there's a lot of like noise out there about how to learn a language.
Mm.
So I just went about experiencing as much as I could and speaking to as many people as I could. And yeah, now I have a better idea about how to acquire a language. Yeah, slightly better idea.
I understand. I mean, that's impressive. I really wasn't aware about your the Italian, the German. I mean, you went through most of languages.
Yeah, different languages. I'm very grateful for it. I'm very
Amazing.
grateful
And
that I
you
learned it.
discover other cultures, by the way,
Yeah.
while you're learning a new language. I mean, you learn about the culture, the people, the country, and everything. And that's very enriching. Yes.
100%, 100%. I would say, yeah, it was counter culture to what I was experiencing, or what I had been involved in for a long time, which is the Catholic culture.
Right?
So yeah, I was with acquisition of new languages, I was able to see my culture, my Catholic, my also my Australian, my Korean cultures in different lights, and languages not only gave me like conscious tools to examine culture, but also like unconsciously gave me new wirings in my brain, I believe, that was able to give additional resources to criticism, self criticism, and criticism of cultures that I had been influenced by and was involved in. And that's, I think, somehow that helped prepare myself to leave the priesthood and also leave. Well, I'm not a practicing Catholic in addition to that. So I think I'm very grateful to languages that it introduced me to different cultures, but also gave me ways to critique my cultures.
Right. Well, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Well, that's what languages can do, I think, and
Yeah,
that's why we're about multilingualism. Our mission is to help multilingualism, and we think that it's going to help people try to work for peace. You know, when people
exactly.
can listen and speak other languages, then they have to respect that culture. You know, so I think it's going to help if we can help more people become multilingual.
You are absolutely right. I mean, we live in amazing times where everyone I mean, everything is connected. And I had a friend a while back who went to China, and he told me that when you don't speak Chinese, I mean, they do speak German, they do speak English, excuse me, but when
Yeah.
you speak Chinese, I mean, the whole behavior changes. Even as a
Oh.
customer, you are not treated the same way. And kind of, when you speak Chinese, for example, in China, they see it as a sign of respect. So
Mm.
they behave a bit differently. And really, I wasn't aware of that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
Yeah,
like they
sense of
feel
belonging.
maybe, yeah, maybe because they feel more included, you know? So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So, speaking of which, Rami, what's the one thing in SpeakDuo that no platform, no other platform can do, or simply doesn't get right?
Well, I mean, so the main thing about us as Peak Duo is that, so we are, just to clarify things, we have a collaborative space where we host sessions, we host events. Of course, there is there you go. So these are, if you scroll down, if there are multiple events per day, and you can like attend anyone you want, and then add it to your calendar. And then after
Mm-hmm.
that, of course, whenever like you access the session itself, you understand more what I'm talking about, but I'll picture it for you. So once you enter, there is a host that's gonna animate and that's gonna introduce you to new idioms, new expressions, new phrasal verbs, you know, and mostly, you know, for mostly slangs, mostly for spoken English, you know, so like
Okay.
just to make you feel more confident and more fluent, you know, speaking the language, really. So we don't really like wanna fill it with fluff words, you know. We don't really like, you know, the extra we every single phrasal verb or expression can be used in their day-to-day life. So that's why we try our best to like benefit these people from the platform itself. And after that, of course, after the quick 4 minute of this introduction, or 5 minute of this, you know, phrasal verbs and expressions introduction, they get matched with each other's like one-to-one breakout rooms. So like basically I can be matched with you, Slim, if we're at the same level. You see what I'm saying? So if we're
Absolutely.
at this, let's say we're both at C1, right? We might get matched together in a room, and so for us to practice the language for 12 minutes. And after that, there are 4 sessions in 1 hour, 4 sessions
Uh-huh.
of 12 minutes breakout room. So that's like 48. And then yeah, so that's literally the whole experience. It's something that we've tried many iterations. We've updated the whole space, the whole platform multiple times, many times, until we found it. Still, we are trying, you know, the formula, the perfect formula, but
Yep.
so far we found something that's working, and something that's generating you know, users every single time, you know, on every event. So something that's actually benefiting and adding value, you know, based on, of course, based on user feedback. So we've been seeing many positive feedback. We've been seeing some very interesting and you know, a decent traction. So yeah, we're assuming at the time being that everything is working properly. Everything, well, I'm not gonna say we figured it out, obviously, but
Yep.
at least we are there. We are picking up the pace, right? We are picking up the cadence, and we are growing, definitely.
Totally.
So
Totally.
yeah.
I mean, it's funny you said that because everyone is talking about startups and starting a company and everything. And when we're talking about products, um, I mean, the trend has kind of changed because today you have to launch and then iterate as fast as possible, as soon as possible.
Yes.
I think you agree with me that the real feedback has to come from the customer as soon as possible, because the idea that you have in mind is rarely the right approach when it comes to startups, right?
Correct. Absolutely right. So there is a famous saying that goes like learn fast, fail fast,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I like that.
and ship fast. So you gotta ship fast, to people, learn from
Yeah,
it, get the feedback, collect it, and of course if you're gonna fail, of course that's like learnings. You're coming out with learnings, and then of course that's
absolutely. I
that's an
never
in
fail. I just
exactly.
learn. Exactly.
Exactly. That's an input for your next iteration. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Now you're
Great,
absolutely right. You
great.
smashed it. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of which, I know that you already started your own startup, and this is not your first experience. So I was wondering, what's a common belief about launching a startup that just turned out to be complete bullshit once
That
you were in it?
that growth is linear, maybe. So I would say growth is not linear in the startup's life, or even not it's not following a certain curve. I would say
Mm-hmm.
maybe because it's full of chaos, especially at the beginning. It's literally unpredictable, unexpected. There are many macro factors, of course, that can make decisions on your behalf. So yeah. In addition to that you won't become rich in 1 to 2 years if you if you think
Yeah,
that
the get
yeah.
rich quick scheme.
Yeah, or even yeah, because many people think that they're gonna launch a startup. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start hustling 6 months. Oh yeah, I'm gonna lock in for one year, 2 years. I'm gonna become rich, all that, and then boom,
Right,
they
right.
get hit with reality. So yeah, because there is no amount of time, or even there is no amount of time that's like precise for you, like to
Exactly.
start
You,
scaling.
you stop
So
counting.
yes, so yeah, there you go. But yeah, I would definitely say that it's full of risk for people that want to launch startups. Take the risk. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it in a long run. So it's exciting, absolutely exciting. If you love risk, I mean, you do, Slim. I know that for a fact. But yeah, if you love risk, if you love adrenaline, if you
Yeah.
like that life, if you don't want to be, living maybe a casual life, and sleeping
Ups and downs
a-
and
and sleep
everything.
and sleeping properly, maybe you wanna, yeah, maybe you wanna lack some sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
so go ahead, launch a startup. Voila.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely 100%. I agree with you. It's an adventure, and like, I mean, they say that it's not an adventure until something goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
So, John, I think during these 3 or 4 years, many things have gone very well, and many things have gone very wrong. So, have you ever hit that, like, why the am
Pause.
I doing this moment? Like a moment where you nearly gave up.
Um, I don't know if I've ever considered giving up as such because I would have like left it to chance, because I would go right to the end, I feel.
Yeah,
But I've always, yeah, but I did feel many times, wow, like the burden of a startup is pretty major.
it's a responsibility too, because you have a team, you have people that depend on you.
Yeah, for sure. And also for my life as well, I really can't compare myself to other people or my peers, my friends. I really can't do that if I want to really stay focused because they're on different times, they're doing different things,
Mm,
and I feel because it's still an early stage startup, there's a lot of life catching up to do For example, I'm not married or don't have children, and
Yeah, I think
these kind of
all three of
things.
us are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Startup Life.
Yeah, yeah. I know some people who are able to do it with a family, but
Yeah,
yeah, in my case, yeah, I think it's had a toll. It's had that kind of toll. Um, and you see it in other startups too. Not to like glorify this in any way, but I think it is a there is a relationship to um, you know, that commitment and startup longevity at least. And putting all our energy into the startup is currently what is needed at the moment.
yep,
So yeah, that's been something that I've had to really own, to continue in this path. And there's been many times where I thought about life that where without the startup um, kind of mindset, what would it be like? The
yep,
thing is, it's very obvious to me that I can't live like that. I can't live like I need to work in a startup. And I feel that I would do it again and again. That's how I feel right now. Um,
whoa.
yeah, like you said, regardless of failure or not, if it happens to succeed or fail, I'm still wanting to do it again. And I
Exactly.
don't want to. Yeah, I think, and it's a luxury. I feel it's a real luxury to have that freedom to do it again.
Yeah,
I feel,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. A few days ago, I heard Mark Cuban talking about this, and he said that we hear a lot about this concept of life work equilibrium, or in the sense that you could do both, but it doesn't apply in the context of startups because the goal is to be fully committed to your startup, to be fully focused on that, and then once you made kind of a lot of money, you can enjoy it with other people. You can enjoy it with your partners. So just to be absolutely clear, I'm not against having someone in your life or having a family or anything. Quite the opposite. But you need to be focused on one main thing, and you really can't share your focus and go like in all directions, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that. That's like a bold statement because
Hmm.
we would, as John said, we're not really glorifying that hustle mindset or that like that focus on one thing. You're a man on a mission. You gotta like work 12 hours a day, sleep 4 hours a night.
Yeah.
That's not really cool. That's not even healthy. It's not even healthy for you as a person. So, yes, okay. So find the minimum balance that you can find and then try to really balance your life because it's feasible, it's doable if you know how to manage your time, if you know how to manage your projects and all that, your schedule. It's doable. So yeah, just finding a
I mean,
startup or
wise
work.
words from Rami, but you are absolutely right. I fully
Yeah.
understand. I mean, it depends on people are not the same. They don't all have the same priority. But I think what John was talking about is
Hmm.
when you have a mission, when you kind of become obsessed with it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't leave you time or energy to think about other things. But you're absolutely right. I mean, you can have some kind of a balance. It depends
Yeah.
from one person to another.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it does depend. It definitely does depend from person to another. But yeah.
Yeah, right. So, John, let's talk a little bit about AI, the trend of the century. So, was there a moment where where AI actually kind of saved your ass or made something way easier than expected?
AI, I use AI every day, and yeah, I guess it's something that I use every day to dialogue with,
Hmm.
as I try to find new solutions or to make things efficient. So for those two things, yeah, it's been very helpful in my personal project in terms of what I have to do for our teams.
Right.
And yeah, we try to deliver some kind of AI support to our users as well. And yeah, it's definitely a trend that is going to continue. I think it's kind of like Pandora's box. It seems that we won't be just like something cool. Remember those days when AI was interesting, but rather it's going to be like the internet, something that's going to be just
Regular.
pervasive and
Yeah.
get bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you are absolutely right, Rami. I guess you agree because we're at the point of no return right now. ChatGPT 5 is gonna be here soon, and we're already seeing things. I mean, seems like witchcraft today.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, look at the GPT 4.1, look at the recent changes they've done and this thing is so powerful right now. You have no idea. So, and it's almost even in terms of coding, the 4.1 is competing with the Claude 3.5, the
Ah, right. You've been
3.5.
experimenting with live coding too. I forget that.
Oh yeah. You know that, you know the drill. But yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, even for myself, I mean, AI has helped me quite a lot, actually, and it's even I'm at a certain point where the LLMs, have been influencing my decision making, which is just quite, it's just quite odd when you think about it. So, like,
Okay.
sure, so yeah, well, like when you think about that, a robot, a whole bot, I mean, let's not say a bot. I mean, yeah, so a model, is influencing your decisions, and yeah, it's helping you make decisions in life that's impacting your real day-to-day life. But it's amazing also because it facilitates many of my life aspects, whether it's work, whether it's, learning, studying, because I also study,
Right.
that. So, and whether it's, of course, my fitness, workout routine, I mean, or my boxing or whatever. It's beautiful at the same time, So it's really beautiful. Something that's really helpful, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. So speaking of which, I think you're a bit familiar with automation. We're talking about N8N, Make.com. More and more platforms are available today. So if I dropped you an AI agent tomorrow that could automate anything in your pipeline, what task would you hand off first?
I mean, we have a lot of people preparing lessons and facilitating sessions on the platform,
Hmm.
and also attending to customer inquiries. And at the moment, we haven't automated any of this. It's all manual creation of. I mean, we do make lessons with the help of OpenAI, but we don't have it in an automated way. I review every lesson, and somebody, Suha, actually makes the lessons, and she interacts with OpenAI to make the lesson, to finalize it, and she curates the questions, and then I then review the lessons again to QA it. And yeah, I mean, if we were able to make a pipeline for that, then we would be able to free up Suha to make something else, for example, quizzes on top of those lessons. So, and then we would automate that too. So, I mean, eventually we would love to do that, and make this a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where AI can take us, just on a very superficial level, and hopefully we can automate a lot more.
Exactly. Make everything more efficient,
Yeah.
free up your time to do things a bit that require a bit more finesse, maybe, and a bit more concentration. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. And so using all these technologies and hustling for years now, today you're at kind of a pivoting moment, right?
Well, we keep pivoting. That's the thing about startups. A startup life, I personally think there is no like one time, one hit wonder, like they say. It's like, you gotta keep iterating, keep A and B testing multiple aspects actually, whether the marketing channel, whether the product features,
Yeah.
whether the branding, any aspect on the startup gotta be iterated and gotta be A and B tested. And so with that being said, and even the segment itself, if you decided, let's say at first, that you have a certain segment, a certain ICP, a target audience, um but then it doesn't really perform as expected, right? So what you have to do there is to pivot your segment, and try to test or A/B test multiple ICPs until you find the one that fits, your product, basically. That's like a product fit to your offering, after all. But yeah, to answer your question, I guess that's how it's done, That's how it's done. You gotta keep pivoting. So until,
Yeah.
of course, the key words here, you gotta keep pivoting until you find PMF, which is the product market fit. So until you start generating sustainable sales,
Mm.
you have to keep pivoting. So yeah.
Yeah, and you keep pivoting, you keep adapting, you keep adapting to the market until you find yourself at a point where you actually need a bit more money, or you have to raise more money, which is kind of what you're doing right now, right?
To start a startup, you need money. It's a necessary condition. It's not something to fulfill to evidence success, or something in itself that's an end in itself.
Yeah, but it
Raising
takes
is
skills and a
mm.
lot of effort to be able to raise funds, right? I mean, thousands of
Well,
people
if
trying to
your
raise
uncle
funds,
is the
but they
prince,
fail.
if your uncle is the prince, you don't need that skill. You could have that gifted to you. No, what I'm saying is, like raising is not just a factor of skill and tenacity. It's also a result of the market validation. A lot of factors that are beyond the founders or the team's control.
Mm.
So yeah, I can't take credit for having raised in the past in any because we only raised through more formal accelerator programs,
Mm.
and also through angel investors,
Yeah.
and through grant funding from French Institute Tunisia. So we were able to raise through people's trust in what we were doing as a team.
Yeah.
And a lot of credit goes to Aziz as well, who's not here, my co-founder. And we, because we were able to create that trust, people were able to invest in us. Um, and yeah, we need to be faithful to that commitment, and do I guess, do what we can with our resources to generate a return for them, because that's a relationship that happens when you take on investors. It is another relationship that has to be nurtured. And yeah, I think it's a bit strange when startups are just looking for funding in and of itself, because it's a distraction in many ways.
Yeah.
If I could just really call up a prince uncle, that'd be much better for me.
Yeah,
It will be
absolutely.
much
You're
better.
you're
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. I love everything you said, especially the part about people trusting you, and because I had a chance to see firsthand how these courses are made with Rami, and one of the things I really admire about your platform and your startup is the ethics of it. Uh, I can see that every time he has a chance, any one of your teachers has a chance, so he reminds them of the rules. So Rami, what were the rules? They are simple, I think.
So yeah, there's simple rules actually, and yeah, just to correct one thing you said, they're not really courses; they're more of live events or classes. They're
Right.
they go out of the conventional norms of a class. It's not really a class because it's collaborative. It's literally learning by practicing. But
Right.
yeah, so the protocol rules is basically in SpeakDuo itself, you have to always like turn on your camera. That's like non-negotiable because you know it improves the experience for the other members. Of course, in addition to that, you have to stay respectful. You really shouldn't
To be
really
respectful, exactly.
exactly. You shouldn't do any suspicious activity or like you know some odd behavior. But and the last but not least is that you should at least be at an intermediate level, that's B2, to in order for you to join. So
Okay.
yeah, this is literally tailored for you know B2 plus English speakers, you know? So like people that want to learn, that want to improve, yes, but at the same time they're on an intermediate level. So like B2
Yeah,
plus.
so you start intermediate and then you go
Of
to an
course.
advanced level.
I mean, yeah, well, it's between B2 and C2. Our members actually are between B2 and C2. But yeah, as I said, you know, for you to find people that actually understand what you're saying and that may add value to the conversation, they have at least they must have the minimum level, which is for us, I think we think it's B2. So yeah,
It's B2.
yeah.
Right, right. So, Rami, what's the next big challenge you're facing in SpeakDuo?
The next big challenge is, well, it's always been growth in startups, right? So I would say
What does growth look to you as a CMO? What does growth mean to you, if I might say that? Is it numbers, social impact, or something entirely different?
well, to keep it on a surface level, like to keep it on a startup surface level, I would say in terms of you know, numbers of attendance at first, because there is, well, I'm not gonna discuss the whole funnel, the whole marketing funnel, but of course
Yeah.
there are you know, users that use the SpeakDuo platform itself. There are the paid members. There are people that follow us on social media. There are you know, there's the website traffic. There's a lot of it. So, and what we want to grow, of course, as any startup wants to, is that one, we want to increase our recurring subscribers. That's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And we want to like increase the amount of users that we have on our platform. So it doesn't, yeah. So it really might not matter at first if it's a free or a paid user, because you know we already know the network effect, the positive network effect, and so
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, creating a good impression maybe, or adding value at first, or finding value on a free plan might actually it's more likely for people to convert when they try, you know, like when they experience themselves. So yeah, after all, the goal is to benefit people, actually see them, you know, like whenever I see a testimonial on Trustpilot or like you know, our Google Business Pro, or even on Meetup, on meetup.com we have more than 600 reviews or ratings.
Oh
And
wow.
so yeah, many people like have been like saying that they found huge value in SpeakDuo, and they improved, and they like love the experience, they love the people, you know. So that makes me smile whenever I see that. Honestly, it makes me, it genuinely does, genuinely makes me smile. And whenever I see like someone reporting or just saying that they've improved because of the daily practice on SpeakDuo, that's like mission done. That's like what we want to do after all. Like
Because you
that's
made
the end goal.
impact, because you made real impact in
Exactly.
people's life, right?
That's the end goal. Yes, it's to help people improve their spoken English, like literally, just by doing, by practicing, by consistency. That's it. So, and whenever they actually understand that, and they actually understand that consistency is the key, so they start attending every single day.
Yeah,
Um,
consistency, consistency,
there you go.
consistency,
There you
discipline.
go. Yeah. Once they do that, they figure out that yes, okay, shit, I improved my spoken English, and it's crazy. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving every single bit of it. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I guess that was a that was a really good answer. So yeah,
Yeah, that was yeah, pretty good answer. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, pretty good.
So, John, if someone's listening right now who believes in your vision, what would be the best way for them to connect and to support you?
Yeah, I mean, on LinkedIn, you can connect on LinkedIn if you look up John Jang or
Mm-hmm.
john@speakduo.com.
Amazing. Rami, do you have anything else to add?
What I would add briefly is that honestly, anything you want to do, like whether learning a new language, whether launching a startup, I don't know, like acing your grades, consistency is always the key, and it has always been the key. We just don't want to pay much attention to or just give it much effort. But really, if you just even focus for like 10 minutes on the, or even 15 minutes on the things or the thing you want to achieve every single day, you will achieve it at a certain point in your life, you know? So if you work towards that, if you work on it, you will achieve it. There's no reason for you not to. So yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to say.
That's great. Well, listen, guys, I think we're gonna end up on that note because, yeah, what you said really, really resonated with me, and I think it's gonna resonate with many people. Yeah, John, Rami, thank you so much for being here with us today. John, I know you made a lot of sacrifices to be with us. So yeah, thank you very much
No, not at
to
all.
both of you.
Thank
I
you so
wish
much,
you
Selena.
much
Appreciate it.
luck.
For sure.
Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
Slim. Nah, appreciate it. You did really
Yeah,
well.
No,
You
I'm
did
thank
looking
you.
forward
good
to
talking.
catching up in person.
Yeah.
Absolutely, with pleasure.
Yeah,
Awesome,
definitely.
awesome.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right, Slim. Have a
Take
great
care.
day. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.